DroneTalks is an online platform to spread ideas and to educate in the drone ecosystem. At DroneTalks, we discuss technology, regulatory, business, and ecosystem topics openly with industry leaders to enable and foster innovation for a better future.
Hey everyone, I'm Esther Kovac, founder and CEO of DroneTalks Online. Today I am talking with Lia Reich, UTM Marketing and Communication Manager at Wing. Hi Lia.
Hi Esther, thank you for having me.
Very exciting. I was really looking forward talking to you. And I think the reason is that because you are my first female guest. And I'm really excited about our interview. So thanks again. So my first question is that why drones? What's the story behind?
So I was one of those unique cases of people who had zero aviation background, got the opportunity to work at a very early stage drone startup right out of college, and really just learned on the job. And this is like now being a part of the industry and seeing kind of all the new types of backgrounds that are in our space. I am just could not have been more excited to land fortuitously into an industry that really is building something amazing for the future. And so yeah, I had an opportunity at an early stage company, came in, really helped to grow the company. And this was a company that was focused more in the commercial drone space. So started to talk with kind of end users in the agriculture space, the infrastructure space, the insurance space. And that really, to me, is what brought the industry to life and allowed me to fall in love with drones. So that talking to the end user, understanding their problems, understanding how drones can solve them, I think is something that as a marketer, it's what gets you out of bed every single day, is having the opportunity to tell a story that's never been told before, or build something that's never been done before, these kind of moonshot ideas. And so that was my entry into the drone space. And then year over year, I have grown more and more in love, to the point where my daughter, one of her first words was airplane. And so you know it's like real love when this is like a part of our everyday life. And so love the space. And then I joined Wing earlier this year and got to see a completely other side of the industry that I had never experienced before, which is the drone delivery space, where the problems we're solving for are better access to prescriptions. They are, reducing carbon emissions and reducing traffic accidents. And that side of the story and seeing that side of the industry just completely rejuvenated my belief and love in this technology and what the future holds.
That's really impressive. And, I really love the fact that you just jumped in it, and speaking about community engagement and the society acceptance comes to my mind. So being in a communication role, can you please talk about what opportunities do you see to shape how we talk about the new area of aviation that will require UTM? How can we talk about on a way that, society acceptance is happening?
I would probably have a pretty canned answer around like the fact that at Wing, we really believe that the UTM ecosystem is digital, it's collaborative, and it enables a very diverse range of drone operators to communicate and fly safely with one another at scale. And that makes sense, right? Like that's what we believe. Like that's truly what we believe about how the UTM ecosystem is going to evolve. But if I were to say that to a reporter, or I were to say that to somebody in a community where where Wing's drones are doing delivery, or I were to say that to like my grandmother, she's not going to necessarily understand what we mean, or like the path that it's going to take in order for us to get from where we are today to where we want to be 5-10 years down the line, where drones are widely accepted and ubiquitous technology. And so I think it's important for us to really think about how we can frame some of these stories in parallels that make sense to the broader community. And an example that we give, that we like to give at Wing, and it's not one for one, but it helps people understand kind of the framework that we're leaning into, is the idea of the ground traffic management system as well, right? You know, regulators understood we needed a new system. They set traffic laws that made sense to enable the industry. They made sure that we had highway systems that allowed many different cars to operate in a system at one time. They set things like safety standards, so car manufacturers would understand kind of the safety standards that they had to comply with in their manufacturing process. So we all understood that, you know, a blinking light on the left means turning, and a windshield wiper, if I'm in a rental car I understand the windshield wiper is in a certain place and I know how to turn it on. At the end of the day, what's important for us is making sure that we are communicating a lot of these principles in a way that the broader industry can understand. And there is a place and time to speak, you know, to regulators. And I think we also need to invest in doing a better job of speaking to the broader community. And so we can do that by investing more heavily in how we tell stories and how we draw kind of some of these parallels that make these complex ideas make sense.
So collaboration is the key. And I was just wondering, what do you believe the industry can do a better job of to drive further collaboration and adoption? So how do you see, how can we enable it better?
I think nobody would dispute the fact that we have a very challenging job because we're trying to talk to many different stakeholders that all are a part of the UTM ecosystem. So we have regulators, we have drone operators and the different types of drone operators, we have ANSPs and government officials. And so that diversity of audience means, in my mind, one of the areas we can drive better collaboration is by, as industry, let's talk to our audience in the right way. It's kind of marketing 101 that you're not going to talk to everybody, every single one of your audiences with the same messages and the same campaigns. And we should do, I think, in my mind, we can do a better job of that, of communicating with our audience in ways that make sense to them, that enable these stories to get told. And so I think from my standpoint, word of mouth is one of those areas that we shouldn't discount it. Let's make sure that we're building in with these communities and enabling stories to be told in a very effective way, so that people can share communication with their peers. It shouldn't always be industry shouting to the world and saying kind of, here's what we've built, here's what we can do, here's what we can enable. Instead, let's work kind of in partnership, as we're doing with regulators on the technology side, and actually help build the stories that can let them kind of share their learnings with their peers, which is actually one of the in my mind, one of the key goals that we have as industry. We shouldn't be shouting at regulators. Let's enable them to actually be the ones to tell the stories, because you're much more likely to trust your peers than you are to trust someone who, might be not from your industry or have your same challenges or have your same questions. And so I think that's something that we can do a better job of to drive collaboration is knowing our audiences and then speaking to them and enabling them in a way that lets them tell the story for us.
I cannot agree more, Lia. And, every single drone delivery, it doesn't really matter if Wing or another one. I do believe that a story and the proof itself, technology is there, service is there, operations are out, and it supports the whole, ecosystem, every single drone delivery. So I was just wondering, what are you most looking forward to seeing happen in the coming years? If you would have a magic, ball, what would you see in it?
I'm not even gonna try to predict 5 years in the future. I feel like there's no way that I can look that far in the future, but I'll tell you what I'm most looking forward to about the next year. And for me, that is being able to tap more into the drone operator community. I think that I actually saw an article this morning that was talking about some of the drone software companies and the drone database companies are having their best year to date in 2020. And like that to me is such a good sign of the fact that businesses are leaning into drones as a tool, which means we need more drone pilots, which means we need really simple, clear ways of helping them understand the airspace, understand the rules and regulations, And I think industry has an opportunity over the next year to make sure we are enabling the growing, diverse community of drone operators with the tools that they need in order to be successful. And so that's, I would say, one of the things I'm most looking forward to is tapping more into the operator community where our USS is available, Open Sky is available in Australia, and as that grows out to other countries as well. I want to make sure that we don't forget the underlying theme of like magic of aviation, right? I think every time you go out and fly your drone, and when I talk to our users as well, that's like the thing that comes up is like there is a feeling you get, an ethos you get when you fly your drone of like joy and magic and excitement. And that's something we should be aware of as we build technologies, as we build services. And we want more people to be able to have that amazing experience. And so at the end of the day, like that's what we're working towards from a UTM standpoint. I think that's what we're working towards even from a drone delivery standpoint, is enabling everybody to have the joy and experience of aviation and bring it to more people. And so I'm excited. We have a lot of work to do, but I feel like we're making amazing progress, and being in the industry this long and seeing the very amazing and intelligent people who are a part of it, I know that we're very close. Like we're ready. We're almost there. We're ready to see the industry be unlocked.
Thank you, Lia. That's really exciting. And thanks again for sharing your thought. It was a really unique perspective. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks for having me, and good luck with everything with DroneTalks. I know we are in dire need, as we talked about intentional content, in dire need of content like this and people like you who are kind of pulling all the stories out of industry. So very excited to see how the platform grows.